Okay, it's a beautiful day here at the park. Let me show you. So guys, how are you? Do you mind me calling you guys? I know it's very generic and it can be both male or female, or should I just say hi bestie? Because that's what I feel I am to you all. So comment below what my intro should be, guys or bestie. So I'm so glad you are here. I'm really excited to talk to you guys right now. So if you got a little time, grab your coffee or tea and let's sit down and chat just like old friends catching up. I'm holding on to my camera guy. So first of all, my phone. First of all, I want to say thanks to all the subscribers I've gained, including views and comments I've received. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You've watched for a reason, and hopefully my story resonated with you guys. So I've been thinking a lot about what it means to start over, to rebuild, to put yourself out there, to take a leap of faith when you have absolutely no idea where you're going to land. And you know what? It's scary as hell, but it's also necessary, because if we don't keep moving forward, what's the alternative? Sitting in fear, letting life just happen to us, I just don't want that. I can't. So something I didn't share with you guys in my first video is that I was born and raised in Belize. Life was so simple back then. That's my home. That's where my roots run deep. I grew up surrounded by family, culture, and the simple beauty of Caribbean life. So Belize is one of the most breathtaking places in the world. Warm ocean, breezes, palm trees, swaying, the sound of waves crashing at night, the rain. I miss those times. Feeling the sun on my skin. But beyond the beauty, life there taught me resilience. So I had dreams just like any young girl. I knew there were more out there. I had dreams, big one. I wanted to see the world, do something meaningful. I wanted to build a good life for myself. I wanted to see what was out there beyond my little home country. I wanted to chase opportunities. So I made one of the biggest and scariest decisions of my life. I left everything I knew behind and moved to the United States. Yes. So starting over in a brand new country, guys, let me tell you, it's not for the weak. So everything was unfamiliar. I had no safety net. I had to figure out how to survive, how to build a life for myself from absolutely nothing. And it wasn't easy. I had my share of struggles, moments where I felt lost, scared, overwhelmed. And even though I faced challenges, guys, I never gave up. I had to push. I had to hustle. And I had to fight to create the life I wanted. And through all the ups and downs, I built a life. One of the greatest blessings in my life right now, guys, is my kids. I have 4 amazing adult children, and they're the absolute light of my life. Everything I've ever done, every sacrifice I've ever made has been for them. They have been my strength through some of the darkest moments in my life. And now I have the added blessing of being a grandmother to the sweetest little girl, my granddaughter. Oh my goodness, she brings me so much joy. There is nothing like seeing the world through a child's eyes. The way they find magic in the smallest things. She reminds me every day that there is so much beauty and love in the world. Yes, unfortunately, I don't get to see her very often. However, we do, like I mentioned in my previous video, we video chat. Honestly, for the most part, life has been good. I have had beautiful, happy moments that I will cherish forever. But life has a way, guys, of knocking you down just when you think you're on solid ground. And these past few months, they have been some of the hardest I've ever faced. As per my previous videos, I talk about how my daughter and I lost our job right before Christmas. Just like that. No warning, no preparation. Guys, one day I was working and the next I wasn't. Here's the real kicker. My daughter and I work at the same company, and they let us both go on the same exact day. Can you believe that? A double gut punch. A mother and daughter, both suddenly unemployed just weeks before the holidays. I still can't wrap my head around that sometimes. So let me tell you, my daughter, she's a fighter. She has been out there applying for jobs, going to interviews, pushing through rejection after rejection. And through it all, she has stayed strong. She inspires me every single day. I watch her resilience, her determination, and it reminds me that we don't give up in this family. No, we don't. For me, though, it's been a roller coaster of emotions, grief, frustration, and anger. And if I'm being really honest, a deep gut wrenching fear that I don't talk about too often. Because the truth is, when you over 50, let alone 60, starting over feels almost impossible. You start questioning yourself, and I've mentioned this before in previous video. Am I too old? Will anyone ever want to hire me? What if this is it for me? What if no one calls me back? And the waiting. Oh, the waiting has been the hardest part. Waiting for unemployment to kick in, waiting for responses from job application, waiting for a sign, anything to tell me what my next move should be. And in the waiting, that little voices in my head keep whispering, maybe you're too old to start over. Maybe no one wants to hear your story. Maybe this YouTube thing is a waste of time. But you know what? I refuse to let those doubts win. Finally, some good news, guys. My daughter and I, our unemployment finally came through. We can breathe again. We can pay some bills, keep a roof over our heads, and that is a huge weight lifted off our shoulders. We're not out of the woods yet, but at least we have a little bit of stability to figure out our next steps. And for that, I'm so grateful. Oh my gosh. Now, sorry about that, guys. It's kind of chilly out here. In the midst of all that uncertainty, I made a decision, a big one. I realized I can't control unemployment. I can't force a company to hire me. But what I can control is how I move forward. So I did something crazy, and I mentioned this before. I started a YouTube channel at 60 years old. Now, let's be real. I had no clue what I was doing. I filmed that first video on my phone. No fancy setup, no editing. Just me. Raw, unfiltered. Putting myself out there because I knew if I waited for the perfect moment, the perfect camera, the perfect lighting, I would never start. And that first video got me 154 views and growing. Now I know that might not seem like a lot to some people, but to me it meant everything. People resonated with my story, and it reminded me that I'm not alone, guys. So now I want to talk directly to the women out there, especially the ones who are my age, because I know how easy it is to feel like time has passed you by, like you've missed your chance, like you're supposed to just settle and accept whatever life hands you. Let me tell you this. That is a lie. I said it. That is a lie. You are not too old. You're not past your prime. You're not done. You still have so much life to live, so much offer, so many dreams that are still waiting for you to go after them. So if there is something you have been putting off, starting a new career, following a passion, going after a dream that has been sitting in your heart for years, please do not let fear stop you. Don't let fear stop you. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start. Now, if I can do this at 60, you can do whatever it is that's been on your heart too. So here I am. I'm still figuring things out, still navigating this crazy new chapter of my life, but feeling more hopeful than ever. And I just want to say thank you for being here, for listening, for walking this journey with me. And listen, I really want to say something to the women out there who are 60 and beyond, to my sisters, my friends, my fellow warriors who have spent decades taking care of everyone else, our kids, our partners, our families, our jobs. And now, maybe for the first time in a long time, we're looking around wondering, what about me? What about my dreams? Guys, let me tell you something. And I need you to hear me loud and clear. You are not done. You are not too old to chase a dream, to start fresh, to rediscover what sets your soul on fire. Yep. I know how easy it is to feel like the best years are behind us. Like the world tells us that after a certain age, we're supposed to fade into the background, be quiet, be grateful for what we have, and stop wanting more. But now, what? That's a lie. You are still full of life. You're full of wisdom. You're full of experience. And all of that, it is valuable, guys. It is powerful. I had to remind myself of that too. So after losing my job, I sat there thinking, who's going to hire me at 60? What am I even going to do next? And for a minute, I let that fear take over. But then I thought, wait a minute. I have lived through so much. I have rebuilt myself time and time again. And if I could do it before, I can do it again. Listen, I want you to think back to all the things you've survived, all the obstacles that you've overcome. You have gotten through 100% of your worst day. That alone is proof that you are still standing, that you are still capable of doing hard things. And now it's time for you to step up and go for it. What have you been putting off because you thought you were too old? What dreams did you push to the side because life got in the way? What is that thing, that one thing that have been sitting in the back of your mind whispering, it's not too late. You can do this. Now, guess what? You can. I don't care if you're 60, 70, or 80. You are not too old to try something new, to take a leap, to go after something that excites you. It doesn't matter if it's starting a business, learning a new skill, or picking a hobby. Traveling, writing that book, or even just changing the way you live your everyday life. Your story is still being written. And let's talk about confidence for a second, because I know how it feels to look in the mirror and think, I don't recognize myself anymore. Our bodies change, our face change, our energy level change, and the world doesn't exactly make it easy for older women to feel like we're still beautiful, still worthy, still seen. Let me remind you, you're still you. You're still vibrant, still valuable, still deserving of feeling confident and powerful. The way we carry ourselves, the way we talk about ourselves, it matters. So let's lift each other up. Let's start walking into rooms with our head held high, knowing that we belong. I don't know what the future holds for me. I'm still figuring it out. But what I do know is that I refuse to sit on the sideline of my own life. I refuse to let fear stop me. And I want the same for you. So, my friends, let's go for it. Whatever it is that's been sitting on your heart, do it. Start small. Take one step at a time. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to start. So, why? Because if I can do this at 60, if I can pick myself up, start over, put myself out there, then so can you. So can you. We're in this together. Now tell me, what's the dream you're finally going to go after? Drop that response in the comment, because I want to cheer you on every step of the way. Let's keep moving, guys. Bestie, let's keep moving forward together. Okay? I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.